Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, you fantastic people wherever you are. Welcome to Chibi Reads Reddit. I'm your host, DoomChibi99. Today's subreddit is r/BestOfRedditorUpdates with every update possible. So sit back, get cozy, grab a drink, and let's read. Am I the dingus for kicking my mother-in-law out of my house because she won't stop complaining about my daughter's name? And this has been cited as concluded, and the original poster was Happy Concert 2819. And she posted in, Am I the dingus here? Both me, 28 female, and my husband, 30 male, are from Latin America. We moved to the UK shortly after we had our eldest, 5 male. Our daughter, who turns 1 in April, was born here. My mother-in-law, 60s, and my husband's older brother, 37 male, neither of whom have met our daughter before, are flying over for her birthday. Brother-in-law wanted to get a hotel for himself, and mother-in-law doesn't speak any English. So we decided to have her stay at our place instead of leaving her alone in a foreign country. Years ago, when I was pregnant with my son, my husband and I made the mistake of revealing his name to our families. My mother-in-law spent the next months complaining about it. She'd send us lists of name suggestions, look up bad historical figures with the same name as the one we'd chosen, and just generally say it was awful. She didn't stop until our son was born, and the name was on his birth certificate. So for my second pregnancy, we decided to keep our daughter's name a secret until her birth. We figured that not knowing her name until it was unchangeable would stop mother-in-law from complaining. We were wrong. Our daughter's name is Cecilia. Minutes after she was born, my mother-in-law called my husband and asked, "You know Cecilia means blind, right?" Almost a year later, she hasn't stopped complaining. If it's not because of the meaning, it's because it's ugly, long, or an old lady name. There have been occasions in which my husband sent pictures of her to his family group chat, and his mom replied with stuff like, "How cute! Too bad her name is Cecilia." It genuinely feels like my daughter is being bullied. Whenever we talk to my mother-in-law, which has been happening less and less lately for this exact reason, she has a new complaint. Up until now, the main reason I was able to kind of tune it out was because she hadn't complained to us in person or in front of our children. But she'll be here in less than 2 weeks, and I'm absolutely certain she'll continue her crusade at our home. I don't want to hear it. I don't want my son to hear it. And I don't want my baby's first birthday to be ruined by my grandma's complaining. So a couple months ago, my husband and I called his mom. We told her she could no longer stay with us and to ask brother-in-law to help her get a hotel room. We also told her the reasons behind our decision. Quick pause here. Sorry for the noise. Neighbors are doing reno. Mother-in-law cried on the phone and has called us several times since. She always either apologizes, calls us dramatic, or accuses us of alienating her from her grandkids. Throughout all this, she continues to insist that she has the right to dislike our daughter's name and still hasn't booked the room. Then, OP posted an update. Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've posted, so I wanted to give you an update. I'll try to be brief. For the next couple of weeks after my first post, mother-in-law continued her attempts to convince us to let her stay with us. Still refused to book a hotel room. My husband and I decided to speak with brother-in-law again. He told us that the main reason why he wanted to get a hotel room for himself was to explore the city on his own, but could understand why we didn't want mother-in-law to stay with us anymore. Eventually, he agreed to help her get a different room in the hotel he'd stay in. From what I gather, he also spent the weeks leading up to the visit telling his mother that if she tried complaining about Cecilia's name at any point, he would call a taxi to send her back to the hotel. Cecilia's birthday went off without a hitch, except for the fact that mother-in-law immediately tried to give her a nickname. For a few hours, she kept calling her Lila, or Lila. Lila? Yeah. She was doing so behind our backs, and my husband and I didn't realize until our son came to ask us if Grandma knew Cece's name. My brother-in-law offered to call the taxi, but we decided to brush it off. Later, my husband pulled mother-in-law aside and said that if she ever tried to complain about either of our children again, she wouldn't get to visit us anymore. She behaved herself until she and brother-in-law flew back home, and we haven't heard any complaints from her since. I'm very satisfied with this outcome, though I'm still worried she will complain about my kids again in the future. I know what we have with my husband's brother, by our side, which will greatly help us navigate our relationship with their mother. Also, kudos to those who brought up Simon and Garfunkel's Cecilia. Though I love that one, our girl was actually named after a song by Brazilian singer Chico Baruch. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I couldn't find a video with English subtitles. Editor's note, I found a translation on Lyrics Layers, but I highly recommend checking it out. Thank you again for reassuring me. I wasn't overreacting. I wish you all well. Would I be the dingus for exposing my abusive stepdad? Bit of a trigger warning here for abuse, guys. So if you want to skip, I'll leave timestamps in the description. This was posted by ChemicalFroyo6239 in r/am I wrong. I really need an outside perspective on whether I'd be the dingus in this situation. I'm a 21-year-old male. I ended up in foster care at 9 years old because of the abuse I suffered at the hands of my stepfather, a man my mom kept choosing over me. Despite all the support and interventions that were supposed to protect me, my mom refused to kick him out, even after she had a restraining order against him. She still let him back into our lives. Meanwhile, she went on to have 2 more children with this man, my half-brothers, who are now 19 and 16. It got to the point where it was obvious that no matter what, she would keep letting him back into our lives and allowing me to be his scapegoat in anything that was wrong in life, and I ended up being removed. After I was removed from the home, my mom was allowed to keep and raise my brothers as if nothing had happened. From what I know, my stepdad never laid a hand on them. My mother and this man are still together. I know because I've checked his Facebook more times than I'd like to admit. Growing up, it was devastating to realize that my mom would rather give me up than fight for me. She could have kept me if she just left him, but she didn't. This abandonment left me with deep scars and a lot of issues to deal with as I grew up. But it didn't help that she cut off all contact with me almost as soon as I was placed in foster care. She wouldn't even show up for court-ordered visits. Foster care was also really rough for me. I bounced around 3 different families, and it wasn't until the last one that I got any therapy to help me make sense of what had happened. A few days ago, out of nowhere, I got a Facebook message from my 19 and 16-year-old brothers. They said they've been thinking about me a lot and want to get to know me. They even mentioned that our mom talks about me sometimes and wonders how I'm doing. They said they like to start some kind of relationship if I'm open to it. The 19-year-old said he would be willing to drive him and 16-year-old to come and visit me whenever I'm in the country. They are both, wherever I am in the country, they both seem nice in this message, and I don't have an issue with either of them. At first, I was going to ignore the message because I don't want anything to do with my biological family. But then a dark thought crossed my mind. This could be my one and only chance to expose my stepdad for the monster he truly is. I could finally tell my half-brothers everything he did to me, everything he put me through, and let the truth come crashing down on them. I know if I do this, it'll probably destroy any chance of having a relationship with them. But honestly, I'm not sure I want one anyway. And then OP posted an update. Hey everyone, I wanted to come back and give you all an update. First off, thanks for all the advice and different perspectives. I really needed to hear them. So after thinking a lot about what everyone said and after having a session with my therapist, I realized that my initial plan to tell my brothers everything about my stepdad wasn't really about helping them. It was more about me still holding on to the anger and hurt from my past, and that's not fair to them. A lot of you pointed out that they probably don't know the full story and are innocent in all this. And honestly, that hit hard. I decided to reach out to my 19-year-old brother and told him I'd like to meet up. I didn't mention anything about our mom or the stepdad situation. I figured if we were going to start a relationship, it's better to take things slow and not dump all the heavy stuff on them right away. We ended up meeting at a cafe. I was super nervous, but when I saw them, it actually felt nice. They were both really nice, and we just talked about normal stuff, like what we've been up to, our favorite football teams, that sort of thing. It was weirdly easy to chat with them. At one point, 16-year-old asked why I was placed in foster care. That caught me off guard, but I decided to keep it vague, and just said that things were complicated at home back then, and that going into care was the best for me at the time. 16-year-old was pushing for more details, but 19-year-old told him to knock it off, which honestly was a relief. By the end of it, I was glad I went. They asked if we could stay in touch, and I said yes. I'm still figuring out how much to share about what happened, but for now, I'm just trying to focus on building a relationship with them. I realized that while the past is important, it doesn't have to dictate how things go down with them now. So, yeah. Thanks again to everyone who helped me see things clear. I'm feeling a lot more hopeful about this, and I'm really glad I didn't just go with my gut reaction to tell them everything right off the bat. We'll see where things go from here, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Am I overreacting? My ex's new wife called herself my daughter's mother. This was originally posted by Optimal Host for 306, but unfortunately they deleted their account, so there's going to be no further updates as this is seen as concluded. I, 27 female, and my ex, 26, have a 6-year-old daughter together. Things weren't working out for us, so we broke up last year and decided to co-parent. We both have custody. He got married a few months back. I don't have any hard feelings or anything for him or his wife. He is a great father, but his wife is going around saying not only she became a wife, but she got a bonus daughter too. Last week, my daughter was with her father, and I saw his WhatsApp status, a video. She was asking my daughter to call her mom, and saying how she just looks like her, how people think she is her birth mother. Without second thought, I called my daughter's father. I was mad. I had a fight with him and asked him to drop my daughter back to me, and I don't regret it, but everyone is saying I'm overreacting. Maybe I am, but I can't see my daughter calling someone else her mom. Edit 1. She and my daughter don't look alike. She was asking my daughter to call her mom when my child wasn't comfortable. I don't hate her, and I don't wish my child to hate her too. I wish them to have a friendly relation where they can just trust each other and be comfortable with each other's presence. Edit 2. Thank you everyone for your response. It means a lot genuinely. I appreciate it. I had a talk with my daughter. Once I have a talk with my daughter's father, I will update you guys. And then OP posted an update. I made a post recently about how my ex's new wife asked my daughter to call her mom. First of all, I'm genuinely thankful for you guys. I thought it was just overreacting, and I was going to leave the matter without doing anything. I had a talk with my 6-year-old, and I'm shaking right now. I don't know, my daughter thought I was going to abandon her. Can you believe it? I was dumbstruck. I felt like I have lost everything in my life. My lovely daughter, light of my life, she thinks I'm going to leave her. I asked her why she thinks like that, but she was adamant on not telling me. After finding out, I came to know that her stepmother told her that when I will get a new husband, I will leave her and make a new family. That woman, she even said that it's only her father who will be with her until the end. Is she insane? I told my daughter that I don't have any plans on getting married again, and even if there's something like that I would never leave her. She's going to always be my daughter. Thankfully speaking, my daughter is still hesitant. She still thinks I will leave her. I've taken a week off. Me and my daughter are spending it together with my parents. A little vacation. After the little vacation, I'm getting a counselor for her. After this, I had a talk with my ex, alone. I told him everything about how our daughter feels, how his wife doesn't know her boundaries, how he would feel if I asked my daughter to call a random man dad. He said he had no idea things would turn out like this. He only left them alone with the purpose to bond. I have a feeling he's lying. I told him clearly that I won't let that woman anywhere near my daughter, and if he is against it, then we can just go to court. For now, we have decided that he can meet our daughter at his parents' house, and after some time, if my daughter agrees, he can take my daughter to his home. It's his responsibility to not let my kid be alone with her. I had a talk with my lawyer. He said we got evidence and everything he can help and get full custody of my child. I have no intention of dragging my ex to court again, but if there's no other incident like this, I won't hesitate. If there's another instance, I won't hesitate. I had a talk with that woman too, and she just started crying, putting all the blame on me, saying I'm jealous of her having my husband. Why would I be jealous of someone having my ex? I don't have any energy to waste on her petty dramas. About that woman, I don't know why she's doing all this. I gave it a lot of thought and only came up with this. Apparently my ex-in-laws are against this wedding, so maybe she wants to get in their good side through my daughter, or she's crazy. just want to make things right for my daughter. I even came to know that my child thinks she's the reason for our divorce, and many of you guys said he, X, got married within a year. He was cheating. Yes, he was cheating. I came to know about it recently, and truthfully speaking, I don't even want to confront him for this. I just want to leave him peacefully without much drama in life. Maybe someday I will ask him and get the answers I'm looking for, but right now, I just want to focus on myself and my daughter. Again, I am really thankful to you guys. I never thought my daughter would think something like this. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know if I would have ever come to know. Looks like we've reached the end of today's video, but fret not, I'll be back tomorrow with more Reddit stories just for you. Want to get notified of the next video? Tap that bell icon. Want to subscribe? Tap the button. It's completely free. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, catch you later, my Chibi Dominators.